Officials said it was for a routine interagency meeting. However, some speculate it was about surveillance of the president and his transition team. With me now, former House Intelligence Committee Chair Pete Hoekstra. Pete, who do you think could have ordered this surveillance, and who ordered that the names of Donald Trump and his team be revealed and not redacted?
Well, the unmasking probably would have happened through the NSA. That's where most likely this information was collected. Excuse me. And Mike Rogers would have been the one, or his chain of command would be the one that would have gotten the request and would have complied or determined whether the information should be unmasked. That's where I think it would have come from.
But who would have sent the request to Mike Rogers? Could the President Obama or Loretta Lynch have done that?
Loretta Lynch, the president, Susan Rice, those are the kinds of people that could have requested it. Because remember, the thing here is the information made it to the White House. That's the important thing. So most likely, that's where the request came from, to unmask it, or someone else who had unmasked it said, hey, this is really interesting stuff. You guys at the White House ought to take a look at it.
Yeah, you see the implication here, and I read your op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, that they did it under cover of looking into Russia, but we're doing a fishing expedition to find anything to damage the president and his team. The question is, how rare is it to see actual names showing up in raw intelligence? You've seen that. They're usually redacted. And also this, what politicians at the White House may have seen it?
Well, number one, in my 10 years in Congress and, 7 years in the Gang of 8, so seeing the most classified information possible. And I checked with my staff today, my old staff, and said, did I ever see raw intelligence? Because I remember asking for it, and I remember every time I asked for raw intelligence, the answer was no, you cannot have it. You can only see it after it's gone through the process and it's been analyzed. So I never saw raw intelligence. And if raw intelligence made its way into the White House, and which Devin Nunes seemed to allude to when he said there were documents at the White House that I was surprised that I would find in the White House. And so, it's almost unheard of that this kind of information, because the White House, they are consumers of intelligence analysis. They don't do the analysis there. That stuff comes from NSA, CIA, all these other places. The analysis is what makes it to the policymakers. The policymakers don't see raw intelligence and do their own analysis. Yeah, that's why I think it's so.
Yeah, go ahead. Sir, you said in your editorial that you are afraid of the awesome powers of the intelligence community and their surveillance capabilities being corrupted for political purposes. Can you explain that?
Sure. I mean, they've got tremendous power. There's, at 9/11, there was this wall between foreign intelligence and between domestic law enforcement, and we started tearing that wall down after 2011 to keep America safe. But if you turn the foreign intelligence community, the CIA, and they start focusing on domestic, that's the worst nightmare that Americans can have, that the awesome power that is designed to steal enemies and steal secrets from our enemies and determine their plans and intentions, if that's turned against the American people and is put into the political process, that is frightening for Americans. And that's been a debate that's been ongoing in terms of, where we draw the line in terms of security versus privacy. And if, in this case, the intelligence community has crossed that line, it has broken its trust with the American people.
Did they break any laws, any felonies possibly here?
Well, a lot of these will be viewed as being judgment calls, and it will, they've made poor judgments. Maybe they didn't break the law.
All right, Congressman Pete Hoekstra, thanks so much. Please come back on the show. We love having you on. Thank you, sir.